Welcome to Kardec Radio. While you wait for our program to begin, check our new site. It's Kardec Flix, where Spiritism is just a click away. Also, check our publisher, Kardec Publisher, and its first 6 books. Each one is a journey to inner empowerment and love. Kardec Radio, where we nourish ourselves daily.
Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Kardec Radio. Welcome for another beautiful opportunity for us to be here together in prayer. We are in so much need of prayer, especially at this time on earth. So important for us because prayer is the nourishment of the soul. We worry so much about the nourishment of the physical body, about taking care of the physical body, but our souls, our spirit, that's the most important thing because that is immortal, continuous living. So we need these moments to nourish our souls, our spirits, and we need prayer. So today we're gonna read a beautiful message that is in this book, Our Daily Bread. This book was psychographed by Chico Xavier, brought to us by the Spirit Emmanuel. If you don't know, Emmanuel is the author of the book 2,000 years ago, 50 years later. And in those books, if you are curious, if you don't know the story, go there. We highly recommend it because in those books, Emmanuel tells us his story. Incredible. Such a humble spirit to be able to write to us who he was and what he did in previous lives. And we get to see and we get to know him. And we are so thankful because thanks to Emmanuel and thanks to the blessed hands of Chico Xavier, we have incredible books like this one and like hello, dear friends. We're sorry about the technical difficulties, but we are here, we're back, and we hope we're not going to have any more technical difficulties. So, we were about to read this message that is in this book, Our Daily Bread. It's message number 6, titled Make Use of the Light. Emmanuel starts this chapter by quoting Jesus in the Gospel of John, chapter 12, verses 35, when Jesus said, "Walk while you have the light, before darkness overtakes you." And this is what Emmanuel brings to us. A person who meditates will come across divine thoughts when analyzing the past and the future. He will find himself situated between two eternities, the days of yore and the days yet to come. By examining the treasures of the present, he will discover precious opportunities. In the future, he will be able to foresee a blessed light of immortality, while in the past, he will perceive the shadows of ignorance, the malpractice of errors, and badly lived experiences. The great majority of humans possess no other panorama with regard to either a close or remote past, except that of ruin and disenchantment, which compels them to reevaluate the resources at hand. In spite of being transitory, human existence is the flame that places each one in contact with the service needed for a just ascension. With the blessed opportunity, is possible to redeem, to achieve, to learn, to conquer, to unite, to reconcile, and to enrich yourselves in the Master. Reflect on this observation of Jesus, and you perceive his illuminated reasoning. Walk while you have the light, he said. Take advantage of the gift of time that you have been given in edifying work. Stay away from inferior conditions. Acquire higher understanding. Without showing signs of improvement and betterment during the march ahead, you will be dominated by darkness. This means you will annul your sacred opportunity and revert to less worthy impulses, thus regressing after the death of the body to the very shadows from which you previously emerged with the intent of conquering new peaks on the sublime mountain of life. Dear friends, what a deep message by Emmanuel. Let us make use of the light, said Jesus. What is Jesus reminding us? He's reminding us to make good use of the time that we have right now here on earth. Why, dear friends? Emmanuel told all of us. So we are paraphrasing Emmanuel. He said, before this reincarnation, we were there in the darkness that he says. And we plead to be able to come back and do what? Do different. He said in the message, we had many lives. He says, majority on earth. It is hard to find someone because we are on a planet of trials and expiations. So our past is filled with ruin and disenchantment, with bad decisions, not to make us feel guilty or bad, but for us to know where we are. And we plead to come back to be given a second chances. But then we get here, what do? We say life is too hard. I don't want to deal with this. And then we go back to our previous impulses. We flee the beautiful duty of this life. Maybe we were placed in a family that we need to learn to love. We have colleagues, co-workers that we don't get along, and we need to learn to understand, to be patient. Maybe we are placed in a country that we don't agree with what's happening, that we feel outraged, we feel out of place. But nothing is by chance, dear friends. There is a reason. And then Emmanuel says, take advantage of the gift of time that you have been given in this life for edifying work. We don't know tomorrow what it holds. We don't know when God will ask us to go back to the spiritual realm. What we know is that we have this precious time right now. So he's saying, let us make use of this light that we have, because soon we'll go back to the darkness, what he's referring to death. It doesn't mean that we don't know where we will be, right? But he's saying the darkness of tomorrow, meaning the death of the physical body. So he's saying, let us make use of the time that we have right here and right now. This life is so precious, dear friends. Is the most important life. Why? Many reasons, and that we can talk about. Each one of us have our reasons, but by studying and knowing where we are in our planet, there are reasons that are generalized for everyone. So we know our planet is going from a planet of trials and expiations to a planet of regeneration. A planet of regeneration, majority of the people will be willing to do the good. And then we might say, but Daisy, I don't see it. Where is this planet of regeneration? It seems that we are so far. It seems that we are far, but remember, Jesus said we need to let the wheat and the weeds grow together so that we can see both of them, good and evil, so that we can remove evil and not kill the good plant. So that's where we are. We are time on earth of this deep cleaning. Before, everything was under the surface. Now everything is coming out, and we're clearly able to see good versus evil. In each one of us, we will be tested in our daily lives. Are we making the choices? Even as we teach the children and the teens at the Spiritual Society of Virginia, when no one is looking, because it's not about what we do outside, is what we do with our conscience. So God is seeing, is between us and God. So are we choosing the good? Or in front of everyone, we put a mask and then we turn around and we're making choices that are not the correct choices for our immortality. So are we making use of this time, dear friends? So, why? First, our planet is changing. We're marching toward the planets of regeneration. Second, in this life is probably the very first life that we have access to these teachings. So, we are being pushed to say, let us use this to do wiser decisions. Now, in this life, we know better than we did in previous lives. And if we continue to make the same choices when we discarnate, it will be very hard. We will suffer even more because before we didn't know, but now we know better. So let us read the last sentences again. Let us use this opportunity to revert from our last worldly impulses of the past, which will lead us to regress after death of the physical body to the shadows that we were emerged previously, and let us conquer new peaks on the sublime mountain of our lives by making improvements in ourselves and for betterment of ourselves through the march ahead. That is Emmanuel's recommendations, friends. Let us use this light. Let us be light. As Jesus said, let us all let our light shine, because each of us, we have a beautiful light And there's this beautiful song that we sing with the children. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let us this light shine, dear friends. That is the invitation for us today. Let us pray, shall we? Dear loving God, Master Jesus, we are so grateful for having access to Spiritism in our lives, the light of the truth that comes as the promised consoler by Jesus, reminding all of us to let our lights shine, explaining to us things that we didn't know before. And now in this life, we are invited to make better choices for our immortality. And that means, Master Jesus, that we, as you exemplify to us, will have to lose in the eyes of the world. We'll have to be quote unquote defeated. But in the eyes of immortality, we will win. So we pray, Master Jesus, that we can make wiser decisions in this life, not waiting for tomorrow, next year, next life, but discerning to do the good, choose the good in all circumstances of life, to be at peace with our own conscience. Because as you said on the message tonight, we don't know when we will be called back to the spiritual realm. So let us make use of the light of this reincarnation, this beautiful opportunity. This is the most important reincarnation in our lives as spirit. So we pray that we can be strong in our choices. We also pray, Master Jesus, for everyone in the circle of prayer. May they feel your healing love showering them and their loved ones, bringing them hope, bringing them peace, harmony, understanding. We also pray, Master Jesus, to our beautiful planet Earth that is going through challenging times. But we have the certainty that good prevails always, that nothing happens without your concern and your divine will. So we do our part wherever we are. We pray for decision makers around the world, and we pray especially for the United States of America. This country that was designed by you, Master Jesus, to be the brain of this beautiful planet. And as the brain, it should foster harmony, peace, solidarity. May Bridges of peace form between the United States and all countries around the world. And may we, Master Jesus, whenever we are, be the light, sharing goodness to everyone. Grateful for this opportunity of deep reflections, we ask for your permission to close these prayerful moments of tonight. And so be it. Dear friends, it feels so good to pray, right? Yes, we feel renewed. We hope you have a beautiful day, beautiful evening whenever you are. I see our dear friend Slavik here. Hi, dear Slavik, and everyone else who is joining us tonight, who we can see, who we cannot see here. We hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful evening, and we'll see you here for another prayer for peace very soon. Bye bye, dear friends.